historical wins in Texans history. I know I just used the word history twice in the same sentence. It's okay. It's 6:00. So it's great to be with all of you here on a Monday following the Texans' big win over the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. We are here to break it all down for you and start to look ahead. We got a bye week and then a really interesting stretch of schedule coming up for the Houston Texans. Great to be with you. I'm Sean Pendergast of Payne and Pendergast, mornings on Sports Radio 610. To my right, we've got Landry Locker of The Locker Room with Landry Locker and SNL. And right beneath him, Reggie Atatula, middays in the loop on Sports Radio 610, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then, of course, Cody Stutes. Right below me, Houston Football with Cody Stutes and host SNL with Landry Locker as well. Gentlemen, D'Amico called it an historic win after the dub in Baltimore on Sunday, 44-10, about as close to a perfect game as we've seen the Texans play, and given where the Ravens were with their roster, rightfully so. But there was a lot to take out of this, I think, both from a coaching perspective and certainly an offensive perspective in this game. But let's just start with the overall thing. An historic win in that they won for the first time in Baltimore. Are you guys here for any of the caveats that come with this win over the Ravens? Of course, we know what they are, the injury list a mile long. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on where this win kind of stacks up, given that they've experienced zero success in Baltimore up until this point?
I think the caveat's necessary, but I also think you can't minimize 40-point outputs and 30-point ass whoopings. And I know you look at Vegas a lot. I look at Vegas a lot. Vegas, based on what they'd seen, and quite frankly, I kind of felt I didn't bet the life savings on the Texans. They told you that despite all these injuries that we knew about before, they had the Texans as a 1.5-point favorite. So when you're a 1.5-point favorite and you win by 30 points, maybe it's just me paying a little bit too much attention to that and using it as kind of a resource. But I don't think you minimize the win. I also think beggars can't be choosers. And I think with a quarterback like CJ Stroud, this is perhaps the most important thing. I think sometimes when it's not as bad, I think sometimes he gets too low. I think you can almost have the opposite effect now where you play these two teams at the right time and the confidence increases, and maybe we see closer to the CJ Stroud that we've been wondering where the hell he is. So I respect the caveat. I respect it. It is reality. But I also think that I'm not going to minimize what they did, and I think that this could be something that they could build on, because the reality is they're going to have to beat good teams now. But they've at least put themselves in position to where the goals that they had before the start of the season are right there in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, caveats are necessary when you're talking about this, especially when you're trying to portend or figure out what this means going forward. If you're trying to figure out how successful they'll be in the future. But when it comes down to them showing up and doing what they needed to do, they had an A+ when it comes to the things that they needed to do in this game, right? Like, they answered all the questions that they possibly could on this day. You've got to give them credit for that, right? The test that was put in front of them may have been a relatively easy one, but they aced it, right? I think Landry hit it perfectly. 40-point day, 30-point beatdown. Like, what more do you say to that? Especially when you look at the quarterback making all the right decisions, a pretty damn clean game on the offensive side, defense absolutely stonewalling a Derrick Henry that I think had once been the boogeyman against these Texans. I don't know what more you can ask for on that given day from this team. Now, of course, I understand the people that then go, well, I want to see you be a good team. I want to see that too. But on that day, wasn't no good team to be found in Baltimore. You just had to beat down a bad one.
We have Cody's mic.
How many times has this organization gone into a game and not handled their business? Even under D'Amico Ryans with CJ Stroud. You think about the Carolina Panthers in 2023. You think about the Tennessee Titans last year. Games where they should have handled their business. They were clearly the much better football team heading into that matchup. And then when the clock struck zero, they had a loss on their record. So especially with the slow start, the 0-3, look, Tennessee didn't matter unless you built on it. They built on it. And now Tennessee and Baltimore doesn't matter unless you build on it. And if you build on both of those and you use it as a jumping point for more against better football teams, which the next 4 you play are better football teams, then yeah, it's going to matter. And if it ends up being, some sort of fake piece of the season, we'll know pretty quickly. We'll know probably by halftime in Seattle if this was not real at all. But I tend to believe there's some realness to this from the Houston Texans.
Yeah, they've in my mind as you guys are talking, I'm thinking they've lost to worse teams than the one they played on Sunday, and then I sit back, I go, well, not that defense. That defense was really bad that the Ravens trotted out.